So today we're recognizing Grief Awareness Day, and it's a time to recognize the many forms of grief and how it can affect those facing it, especially after a difficult year where so many have faced loss due to the pandemic. It's important to know the signs of someone is grieving and to understand the best way to help them. Dr. Cauffield joins me this morning on how you can help others deal and recover from grief. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning.
So let's start with, tell me about the different forms of grief, because you don't have to personally experience loss yourself to feel grief.
Absolutely. You know, this past year and a half has been a time of chronic stress, collective trauma, and chronic grief. And so we are all grieving the loss of our old normal. And then you have life events occur on top of this chronic grief, such as the loss of a loved one, a loss of a pet, loss of a relationship, loss of the socialization with your coworkers. So many things that we've lost this past year and a half. It's no wonder that people are really experiencing mental health crises.
Why is it so important to recognize this grief? You know, what problems does it cause if you do not recognize that you might be going through this?
It's so very important to get additional support during this very challenging time, because if you don't keep this in check, if you don't get the additional support, this can move into clinical depression. And clinical depression has several deleterious effects, such as lack of interest in formerly exciting things in your life, the inability to sleep interruption, changes in appetite, a lot of different symptoms that can really impact activities of daily living. So we want to be mindful. If we are experiencing grief, it's very exhausting. It really impacts our entire life. So very important to reach out and get additional support at this time.
What are some things you can do, maybe, you know, if you're not quite ready to reach out to that resource, to a therapist? What can you do right now?
Well, friends and family are so critically important to each and every one of us. They serve as extended family, as friends do, and our source of safety and additional support. So certainly begin to share your feelings with your family members, trusted family members, friends, a trusted clergy. Let them know that you're just feeling off center, that things aren't going well in your life right now. You just don't have the energy and the motivation that you used to. And make sure that you have somebody that is actively listening and supporting you through this.
I think we all need that friend, that family member, just someone to help us all out right now. Dr. Cauffield, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure.